Hello everyone. In this video, I have an update about the astronauts stuck in space. Rocket blast off to bring back stranded US astronauts home from the ISS at long last. Launched by NASA and SpaceX, the Falcon 9 is picking up Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, whose 8 days on board the International Space Station became 9 months. A long-awaited mission to return the stranded U.S. astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore from the International Space Station has been launched by NASA and SpaceX. The pair were due to spend 8 days on the ISS in June, but technical problems with the experimental spacecraft that took them there have left them stuck on the orbital laboratory for 9 months. On Friday night, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, carrying 4 astronauts who will replace Williams and Wilmore. The new crew were scheduled to arrive early on Sunday at about 3:30 a.m. GMT, and Williams and Wilmore, along with NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Gorbunov, are expected to return to Earth on Wednesday. The mission became entangled in controversy after President DJT and his advisor Elon Musk, who is also SpaceX's CEO, claimed without evidence that former President Joe Biden had abandoned Williams and Wilmore on the station for political reasons. The 2 astronauts rejected this accusation. They arrived at the ISS in June 2024 on the Starliner spacecraft built by Boeing, an aerospace rival to SpaceX. NASA planned to return the 2 astronauts to Earth on the craft until problems were found with some of its thrusters, which would have played a crucial role in slowing down the spacecraft before re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Leaks of helium from the craft's propulsion system were also discovered, and NASA chose not to risk using Starliner to take Williams and Wilmore back to Earth. Instead, the empty spaceship was undocked from the ISS, flown back to and for an automated parachute-assisted landing in the New Mexico desert, while the 2 astronauts were kept aboard the ISS to wait a flight home on a scheduled crew rotation mission, even though this meant keeping them in orbit for months. Williams this month told reporters that she was looking forward to returning home to her family and 2 dogs. It's been a roller coaster for them, probably a little bit more than for us, she said. I am glad that they're finally going to be coming home. It has been a very long time, and I've been covering this very consistently. And I saw this headline earlier around 7 p.m. Well, it's around 8 p.m. technically my time. And I saw the headline and I had to cover it. When they return, they will face certain challenges in their body. The lack of gravity causes a significant, irreparable bone density loss. It also causes muscles to waste in your arm, legs, trunk, and elsewhere, including your heart, which, because it doesn't have to pump blood against gravity, has to work much less hard. Your blood volume shrinks, and the way your blood flows changes. It slows in some areas, which can lead to clots. Fluids also don't come down or drain as easily. When the astronauts are in space, explained by Duffy, an aerospace physicist at the University of Swinburne, fluids build up in their heads, so they feel like they have constant cold. So when they come back, they will feel like as if they kicked a common cold. And also, on the plus side, I'm reading here, they say it'll feel as if they kicked a 9-month cold, not just any cold. They'll also struggle to walk, get dizzy, easily and have bad eyesight. The buildup of fluids changes the shape of their eyeballs and weakens their vision. This is why you often see astronauts wearing spectacles on board, though they've stated with perfect eyesight. This tends to be mostly go back to normal, though they may need glasses for the rest of their lives, said Duffy. The brain becomes waterlogged, said Meg Law professor and director of radiology. This is why the Russian cosmonauts had a device a bit like a wetsuit that would suck fluid to the blood from the head. Like imagine if you're stranded in the wrong airport for a day or two, waiting to go home. Imagine you've been able to see home the entire time. And this is what Duffy said. And these people are truly astonishing in the terms of their resilience. And these two astronauts are very resilient. And in spite any thing that they may face when they coming home and readjusting back to Earth and our gravity, because they have to come back here and to adjust to the gravity we have here. They have been very resilient, and I believe that they will overcome whatever challenges they may face, but they will be okay and they'll be fine coming back home, I believe. And in space, astronauts have to deal with much more radiation than we would ever deal with on Earth. And, for instance, how to protect people against space radiation is one of the problems that scientists are trying to solve as we prepare to send people to Mars or the moon for long periods of time. According to NASA, astronauts are exposed to three sources of radiation. These include particles trapped in Earth's magnetic field, solar and genic particles from the Sun, and finally galactic cosmic rays. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Space Weather Prediction Center describes these as, quote, slowly varying, highly energetic background source of energetic particles that constantly bombard Earth from outside the solar system, likely from explosive events such as supernovas. And because astronauts tend to not have an obligation to participate in studies once they retire, little is known about how this radiation might impact them later in life, said Tucker. So Williams and Wilmore, who are at the end of their careers, might also offer useful research in this area, according to this article. So basically, they will face radiation, and we'll see how this goes with the astronauts returning. And these are just some things that they will experience: some dizziness, and they will be compensated and be taken care of when they return. Also, just to recap, they are going to be coming back. They launched a rocket up there to come and get them. And I also went into detail about what they may experience adjusting back to Earth. So they're like aliens like me in space. And aliens' bodies are a little bit different than Earthlings' bodies. So they're more like the aliens. And now they have to come back to Earth and readjust to the Earthling planes and atmosphere and gravity. So gravity is the big factor here. So that is what I have to say for this video. Comment below your thoughts on this, and thank you for watching.